What's good, guys? What's good? What's good? I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Of course, if you guys don't know, obviously it's summer, so it's been a little bit crazy. I wasn't able to drop the last minute Friday prediction video, but I think it ended up being better. Every time I have to miss, the last time I missed a card was like UFC, but not missed a card, but not be there half was UFC Baku. So everything happens for a reason, but I hope you guys are doing good. One thing I will say is this is the full card predictions for UFC 318. But before we get into all that, we have to talk about what happened last week before we talk about the next week. I want to mention we are on a 6-fight lock of the week streak. But one thing I want to mention before all of that, guys. Somebody's been sending my picks to Prediction Tracker. You don't have to do that, bro. Whoever's sending my picks to Prediction Tracker, I don't think you know the methods of victories that I'm putting. So you're just like saying, like, obviously you got the, because I haven't sent my picks to Prediction Tracker, but somebody is putting them and sending them, right? And they got every single one of my picks that I predicted, but the methods of victory, it said that it was only sent 1 out of 5. Guys, that's not me sending my picks to Prediction Tracker, but the picks are accurate. I was going to say, whoever it is, just don't send the methods of victory until you know what I actually put as the method of victory, or I'll send them myself. You don't have to send the picks to Prediction Tracker no more. I'll send them myself, guys. But I want to mention, we're on a 6-fight lock of the week streak. Zach Reese, Joshua Van Bakir on points, Mansour Abdulmalik Bakir on points, Nazim Sadikov, and Pantoja. And of course, for the 6th lock of the week, it was Bonfim. I know a lot of you guys are going to have mixed opinions on that, but it is what it is. Lock of the week is for me to give you guys my most confident pick, and for him to win, that's my job. Klein, beautiful KO over Melissa Martinez. I will say it was a little bit sad for me to see Melissa Martinez go out like that, considering I'm very high on her brother David Martinez, so I know that that would hit a spot close to home. Ramirez versus Davis. Ramirez, very good submission defense, fighting the hands. Davis gets a beautiful TKO. Walker, third heel hook in a row. This guy's a beast. Kennedy Jekachu. It happens. Murphy is an absolute dog. Had a beautiful retirement. And Jukuwani gets taken down, gets his back taken. And Jake Matthews said it was a 1 out of 20, but I will say, Matthews, you got to give yourself a little bit more credit where it's due. I think that was a phenomenal performance, and that was something that I really like to see. I was very excited seeing him evolve. It feels like I've grown up watching Jake Matthews. Griffin versus Curtis. I feel like Curtis is not what he used to be. Obviously, he got into the head clash. He kind of puts himself into that position where he had a head clash against Kelvin Gastelum, had a head clash against Max Griffin. Against Roman Kopylov, Kopylov was able to hit him with a head kick, able to make the read. Curtis kind of leans out to the side, and Max Griffin was very close at landing some of those head kicks. Tafa can't defend a takedown if his life depended on it. It happens. I was on Tuco Tocos, but I pick flipped. It's on me. It's on me. It's on me. Patrino Lane. Patrino for the dub, gets a beautiful dub. Let's go. Landwehr. I will say, this fight was kind of crazy because I thought Morgan Charrier was looking a little bit off in the second round, and then he comes back and wins. Beautiful performance from Morgan Charrier, but the over 2.5 crashed, and that was an anchor to a lot of my parlays. Qatar versus Garcia, beautiful 30-27 performance from Garcia, beautiful performance. Thompson versus Bonfim, beautiful performance. I give Bonfim rounds 1 and 3. I don't think that one head kick that landed that round, obviously you could argue that head kick was the most damage that landed in that entire round. But I will say, in Vegas, they do favor control. So time and time again, sometimes the grappler gets the win. Bonfim rounds 1 and 3. Let me know what you guys think. He definitely didn't win round 2. But he was on his way to winning up until he got wobbled and he did the chicken dance. And also, a lot of people thought Bonfim dropped Wonderboy. Wonderboy actually got his leg checked and then he fell. And then Teixeira gets knocked out. Early stoppage, but it is what it is. Jason Herzog will go down as one of the worst refs in UFC history after Mark Smith. But only time will tell. So here we go. Without further ado, this is the only bet that I hit, guys. Steve Garcia. I didn't go too crazy because obviously I was busy as well. But I hope you guys cashed, guys. I hope you guys cashed. I had a lot of parlays with Teixeira KO. I had one with the over 2.5 Morgan Charrier Landwehr fight, and then fight ends by KO. But of course, that one crashed and burned. So overall, it was a decent one. We still went positive, but not by much. Now let's get into the breakdown. Enough gish galloping. We're on a 6-fight lock of the week streak. Tune into this Wednesday to find out who my lock of the week streak is, and I bet you it will have way more value this time around. It's a 14-fight card, guys, so bear with me if it's a little bit of a longer video. Here we go without gish galloping. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Minus 265 for Carli, Judice, Nicolle, Caliari, who is a smoke show, an absolute smoke show. Plus 200. Carli Judice record is only 4-2, very new to her career. Her only 2 losses are to Ernesto Karakic and Gabriela Fernandez. She lost both of those fights by split back-to-back. Carli is the favorite. She's decent, but Caliari will bring it. Judice has a good 1-2, good kicks, but she's very open to a takedown. Carli matched up against Nicolle Caliari. Caliari is a smoke show. She's very attractive. Caliari is a grappler that can strike, kind of uses her strength for takedowns, good clinch, good collar tie. Once on top, she sometimes loses position because she hunts for submission over position. And that's one thing I like about Gabriel Bonfim. You know, I was like, hold him against the fence, hold him against the fence, hold him there. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Don't hunt for the position. Don't hunt for the submission. Because we know Bonfim was trying to go for that. He was trying to go for that. I forgot what type of. I think it was a rear naked choke. But also, Prachnio was staying in top mount rather than going for the arm triangle against Austin Lane. Position over submission. Don't go too crazy. And Caliari goes crazy. She hunts for the finish, so sometimes she falls off. This one might get tricky, get dicey, get ugly, but the pick is going to be Carli Judice. Carli to handle the pressure from Nicolle Caliari, handle the cage pressure, handle the explosive takedowns from her opponent. I think Judice can get back up even if she gets taken down. Give me Carli Judice by 29-28 unanimous decision. Let's go Carli Judice. But Nicolle Caliari, it's always a treat to watch. Brunno Ferreira versus Jackson McVey. This is a fight that's very important. I will say, I would have liked to see Ikram Aliskerov here, but of course that fight fell through. Brunno Ferreira, minus 620. Jackson McVey, plus 400. Brunno Ferreira was supposed to be fighting Ikram Aliskerov. McVey also had a bout scheduled, and that fight fell through with Dumas. McVey was going to fight someone else, and that guy missed weight by 10 pounds. I think that guy got cut from the UFC after that. Brunno is in a position where he loses his opponent. Jackson McVey also loses his opponent. Now they're both matched up. A little bit of a last-minute replacement. Little bit of a last-minute matchup. McVey was supposed to fight on UFC 317. Now he's on UFC 318. Ferreira is only 32 years oold at 13-2, 3-2 out of his last 5. He will be looking to put together a 2-fight win streak. He's coming off of a submission armbar win over Armen Petrosian. He's a powerhouse that loves to eat one to give one, has great BJJ, loves to throw bombs, throws the entire kitchen sink at you, matched up against Jackson McVey. Jackson McVey is only 26 years old, making his UFC debut. Welcome to the UFC, my guy McVey. Welcome, my guy. He has good teeps, a good one too. Can tend to have good footwork and great subs. Jackson, undefeated, seems like this will be his first pro career loss. McVey has 3 subs in the first round and 3 wins by KO. 100% finish rate for McVey. I'm going to go Brunno Ferreira by KO round 2. Let me know what you guys think. I like Brunno Ferreira for the dub. I like him by KO, maybe rounds 2 or 3, or rounds 1 or 2. I like the round 2 KO. Let's go Brunno Ferreira for the dub. Let's go my guy Brunno Ferreira. Let's go. Ryan Spann is back against Łukasz Brzeski. Ryan Spann minus 245. Łukasz Brzeski plus 186. Ryan Spann is on a pay-per-view. Absolute insanity. Battle of the bots. Ryan Spann is nowhere near his prime. Spann is 33 years old. Massive amount of reach and height, but can tend to fall into a brawl and struggle with grapplers. He has 19 stoppages in his 22 wins. If he doesn't get the finish, he most likely gets finished. One thing about Ryan Spann is this guy's always a 1-800 gambler type of fight. I can never put my money on Spann and trust and be safe and close my eyes and be like, all right, I can just chill. One thing about Ryan Spann is this guy is very unpredictable. He's like a Call of Duty Zombies mystery box. It's hard to trust Spann, but he's so dangerous. He's a powerhouse that can also snatch something up out of nowhere. Spann looked terrible against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Acosta made it look easy. Now he is back looking to get a win at heavyweight, matched up against Łukasz Brzeski. Brzeski has good shot selection, decent fight IQ. He always mixes it up, but he does eat way too many shots. Łukasz is the only man to ever beat Walter Walker. Very good, notable win. We saw Kennedy knock him out, though. Łukasz can be chinny, but he sticks to his game plan and he stays composed. Spann didn't seem like he bulked correctly his last time against Costa. This is a 1-800 gambler type of fight. I like Spann by club and sub, or even TKO. Give me Ryan Spann by inside the distance, ITD. By KO or submission, low confidence, 1-800 gambler type of fight. Nothing wrong with skipping a fight. Or we just take that fight doesn't go the distance. Let's go. Next fight, Jimmy Crute is back on a pay-per-view. Jimmy Crute on a pay-per-view is absolute insanity. Absolute atrocious. Jimmy Crute minus 260. Marcin Prachnio plus 196. Another 1-800 gambler type of fight. These two fights back to back, you do not want to be there. Just clean the house, make your breakfast, make your dinner, prep your meal. You do not want to be betting on these two fights. Jimmy Crute minus 260. Marcin Prachnio plus 196. Jimmy Crute on a pay-per-view is absolutely atrocious. Jimmy Crute is ass. Has not won a fight since 2020. Jimmy Crute has 2 draws and 3 losses out of his last 5. Jimmy Crute is primarily a grappler looking to shoot. Decent striking. He managed to drop Dulatov. Very surprisingly, very early as well. But then he lost the second and third. Matched up against Marcin Prachnio. Prachnio has a karate background. He's 37 years old, but is always in a fight. At 17-8, Prachnio might be a bit chinny, but he does eat one to give one, and he puts himself right into the fire. He's coming off of a submission loss to Modestas Bukauskas. No shame in losing to Modestas. He's a beast. And Jimmy Crute actually knocked out Modestas Bukauskas. MMA math doesn't always work. Very low confidence. The pick is going to be Jimmy Crute. 1-800 gambler type of fight. Do not bet this fight. Prachnio actually has won at least within the last 5 years. He actually has won a fight within the last 5 years. Jimmy Crute has not won a fight within the last 5 years. I don't know what I'm doing, but Jimmy Crute's going to be the pick. Just give me money line, or I'll take maybe by KO on points, double chance. Jimmy Crute for the dub. But man, I don't know what I'm doing. Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov. This is going to be a very good fight. One thing I will say is both of these guys are a game. Plus 350 for Adam Fugitt. Islam Dulatov, minus 520. This fight should be a bang. Bang. Adam Fugitt, a hard grappler that gets in your face and he doesn't give you any space. At 36 years old, he is 10-4. He's a massive dog. He can tend to be defensively sound, but those straight shots right down the center, right down the middle, can tend to get through. Adam is tough as nails. He's coming off of a split decision win over Josh Quinlan. Matched up against Islam Dulatov. Islam is 11-4, only 26 years old. His only loss is by way of decision. He has never won a fight by decision. 6 TKO wins, 5 wins by sub, 100% finish rate for Dulatov. Dulatov is making his UFC debut. Welcome to the UFC, my guy, Dulatov. I think Dulatov's just style on Adam. I think he's the real deal. Great combos, works, and he uses all 8 of his limbs. Dulatov by KO or sub ITD. I do like him to finish this fight inside the distance. Majority Tapology is going by KO. Maybe we could do Dulatov by KO. I'll probably go Dulatov by KO round 2. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Islam Dulatov for the dub. Let's go, my guy, Islam Dulatov. Welcome to the UFC. Ateba Gautier is back in an absolute banger scrap. Excuse me, I'm fumbling my words. Ateba, minus 530. Robert Valentin, plus 360. Robert Valentin, every time I see him, guys, it reminds me of Taurus Finney. That was a good lock. The Francis Ngannou of today's modern-day era. Ateba Gautier. Ateba is only 23 years old, surprisingly so young. At 7-1 overall, he already had a successful debut on Dana White Contender Series, and he had an insane UFC debut. His only loss is by split decision. Ateba looked amazing against Jose Medina. Jose was just emoting, telling him to bring it, boom, out cold. That's what I like to see. Jose Medina needs to be cut. Ateba, if he's not already. Ateba has only 1 win by decision. The rest are all by KO. Ateba comes out hot. This is a good matchup. Matched up against Robert Valentin. He's a wild card. The Switzerland fighter is 30 years old, being fed to the wolves over and over again. At 10-5, Valentin has only won 1 fight by decision once in his entire career. He is a finish or be finished fighter. He has yet to win in the UFC. He lost to Ryan Loder, and then he lost to the GOAT, Taurus Finney. You guys know the GOAT is Taurus Finney. The GOAT is Taurus Finney. Yes, sir. Finney whooped him bad. Finney took him to school. The pick is going to be Ateba Gautier. Ateba by second round TKO. Let's go, my guy. Ateba, second round KO. Out cold. But give my boy Robert Valentin a favorable matchup. Come on, guys. Sean Shelby and I don't know what the matchmakers are doing. Let's go. Ateba round 2 KO. Francisco Prado is back against Nikolay Veretennikov. This guy reminds me of, the name Nikolay reminds me of Black Ops Call of Duty Zombies. There was Nikolay, Dempsey, I believe Richtofen. If you know, you know. Prado is a welterweight for this one. Minus 156 for Francisco Prado. Nikolay Veretennikov, plus 122. He has already lost at welterweight against Jake Matthews, but Prado lost by decision to Jake Matthews. We just saw Jake Matthews submit Chidi and Chukwueze Chidi bang bang. Prado is going to be fighting at 170 again. Prado is only 23 years old. Very, very young. At 12-3 overall. He's coming off of 2 back-to-back losses to Daniel Zellhuber and most recently Jake Matthews. No shame into losing to any of those guys. Jake Matthews and Daniel Zellhuber are both very good fighters. Prado can get wild, great power, but doesn't move his head if his life depended on it. He does have wrestling in the back pocket. Prado tends to make things work, being way too tough for his own good. Matched up against Nikolay. Nikolay is on a 2-fight losing skid, losing to Danny Barlow and Austin Vanderford by KO. Nikolay moves forward, always throws with intent, heavy hands, doesn't throw many kicks. He has a massive hole in the wrestling department. Austin Vanderford exposed that bad. The pick is going to be Francisco Prado. Prado to be durable and grapple. Prado by KO or decision. Let's go, my guy Prado, for the dub. Let's go, my guy Prado. Let's get your first welterweight dub. Now, this one is a banger. If you know this is the rematch. Plus 200 for Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen minus 265. This is the rematch. The ones who know. Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen got into a fist fight at the casino. And man, was that a good fight. If you haven't seen it, look up Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen casino fight. Man, that was a good scrap. For as long as it lasted, that was a good scrap. Very good scrap. I wish it went longer. This fight feels like it should have happened already. Brendan Allen is from Louisiana. Number 11 ranked Brendan Allen takes on number 10, excuse me. Number 11 ranked Brendan Allen takes on number 10 ranked Marvin Vettori. I think Brendan Allen won the first fight at the casino, to be honest. You guys let me know. You guys watched the first fight when they fought at the casino. I thought Brendan Allen landed a good one too. But you guys let me know who you thought won that first scrap at the casino. This is the rematch. Marvin Vettori has never been KO'd or submitted ever in his entire pro career. If Marvin loses, it's most likely by decision. All of his losses come by decision. Marvin is 9-6 in the UFC, tends to lack power. His footwork isn't the best, but his takedown selection mixed with his chin and volume makes him a good fighter. Marvin can control his opponent very well. It's just that he can struggle getting the fight to the mat, and he's a little bit flat-footed. Matched up against Brendan Allen. At only 29 years old, with a record of 24-7, Allen is pretty well-rounded. A BJJ black belt, good kicks, decent striking. Allen needs to mix it up. He looked very good against Chris Curtis, even against Imavov. He took the round off of Imavov in the first round and controlled him very well. Even against Anthony Hernandez, the scrambles were very good from Brendan Allen. Allen is 12-4 in the UFC. He was on a 7-fight win streak. He even avenged his loss against Chris Curtis as well. Allen needs to work on his cardio. Don't overexplode and don't telegraph your shots, bro. Because against Nasruddin Imavov, this guy's telegraphing his shots from a mile away. Imavov saw that from a mile away. But plus 3.5 from Marvin seems great. I'm going to go Allen by 29-28, unanimous decision. I like how Allen looks at the scrambles. I like how he looks in the scrambles at times. But I will say, guys, this is a very, very tough fight to predict. Marvin Vettori, guys, you guys know that he just recently had a passing of his brother. And you know he's going to bring it. So may the best man win. I'm going to go Allen by 29-28, unanimous decision. Let's go, my guy, Brendan Allen, for the dub. But I would love to see Vettori win, especially with everything that he's went through. Kyler Phillips plus 144, Vinicius Oliveira minus 186. This is a banger, 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 bang. This is a fun scrap. One thing that's a red flag for Oliveira, although it happened very long ago, is all of Oliveira's losses, all 3 of them, come by KO. He's been knocked out all 3 of his losses. Lock Dog had a great scrap with Ali Taleb and ended up getting knocked out cold in that fight he was winning. Ali Taleb just lost to Taylor Lapilus in the PFL. Oliveira's 3-0 in the UFC, and I know Ali Taleb is a guy who fought Oliveira very long ago, but sometimes habits don't change. Oliveira creates chaos and he jumps into the fire and he looks for the fight. Oliveira has forward pressure, great cardio. Oliveira can be tricky. Oliveira is coming off of one of his best wins yet, a win over Said Nurmagomedov. Matched up against Kyler Phillips. Phillips has he has cardio issues. In fact, I think Phillips needs an inhaler in between rounds. Phillips has cardio issues. At 30 years old, he is 12-3 overall, 3-2 out of his last 5. Kyler is coming off of a loss to Rob Font. Kyler has great striking, very slick, very smooth when he's on his A game, as seen in his fight against Pedro Munoz. And he does have a win against Raoni Barcelos. But against Rob Font, he took him down, but he couldn't stop getting tagged. At this price tag, I think Oliveira is a very good play. Oliveira is going to be the pick. Give me Vinicius Oliveira by KO or on points. Let's go, my guy. Oliveira for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Michael Johnson versus the GOAT, Daniel Zellhuber. He's back. If you guys know, Daniel Zellhuber was my lock of the week against Esteban Ribovics. And man, was that crazy. I know I lost, but man. And by the way, I'm a little bit burnt, guys. I know I'm sunburnt. I'm sunburnt. Look at my face. I'm burnt. I'm going to be peeling tomorrow. I put sunscreen, but it still doesn't work. Plus 350 for Michael Johnson. Daniel Zellhuber minus 520. Zellhuber is back. The scrap will be a bang. Bang. But Michael Johnson is the guy who's a mystery box. Just like in Black Ops Call of Duty Zombies. You get the ray gun or you get the teddy bear or you get, you don't know what you're going to get with Michael Johnson. This guy's the guy who can beat Dustin Poirier and then lose to Nate Diaz in the same night. Johnson is a wild card. 15-15 in the UFC. The majority of Johnson's losses come by sub. He has lost by sub 9 times. Johnson is 39 years old, still going to war. At 23-19, he's always up for a war. He went to war with Otman Azaitar 6 months ago. Matched up against Daniel Zellhuber, the GOAT. Zellhuber is someone who I've been high on for a long time, but he still needs tools to sharpen, and he still needs to work on his game and perfect his craft. At 15-2, his only 2 losses are to Trey Ogden and Esteban Ribovics by split. He's only 26 years old. A lot of time to work. He's long. He has good range. But against Ribovics, I didn't like how he kept on engaging into the war. He looked very good early. But when Ribovics was putting on the pressure, he was kind of having a little bit of trouble. He was getting overwhelmed. And he actually almost ended up getting finished in that 3rd round. Zellhuber has 94% takedown defense. Zellhuber is tough. He has a tough chin as well. But I will say, his recovery is what makes him a beast. I think low kicks will play a massive factor. Give me Daniel Zellhuber by KO or on points. I'll go Daniel by 29-28, unanimous decision. I like him at a minus 520. I will say, I would expect Daniel Zellhuber to be a minus. He's going to look like a minus 1,000 if Zellhuber shows up. So give me Zellhuber by KO or on points. I like Zellhuber, 29-28, unanimous decision. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Now, these guys look like twins. These guys look exactly like twins. Comment 22-minute gang. If I'm going a little bit faster, let me know, guys. Dan Ige, minus 186. Patricio Pitbull, plus 144. 2 twins going at it. This is a good clash. Dan, 50K. Ige always brings it. And he's a great test for anyone willing to fight him. Dan Ige at only 33 years old. Is 19-9, coming off of a super early stoppage win against Sean Woodson. Dan Ige has had 5 multiple round fights before. He has cardio. Took Diego Lopez on short notice. He's fought the who's who. Dan Ige is a company man. Matched up against Patricio Pitbull, former Bellator champion. Made his debut against Yair Rodriguez in a tough fight. Pitbull seemed to be very flat-footed and a bit over the hill his last time out. Leg kicks will play a massive factor. And if I'm going to be honest, I think Ige was getting touched up against Woodson, and I don't know how the judges had Ige up. I think Ige was actually getting worked by Woodson, but obviously, it was baby shots, not really that much damage. So you can argue Dan Ige was up. But I do think Dan Ige does struggle in the striking department a lot, especially with taller guys. But against Patricio Pitbull, Ige is going to be the bigger guy. He's going to have the bigger reach as well. He's going to have a longer reach, the longer reach as well. The pick is going to be Dan Ige by 29-28, unanimous decision. But I like Ige by KO on points as well. I love that double chance because we saw an early stoppage against Sean Woodson. You never know, the same ref could be... He could be there, and he could just give him another early stoppage win. Give me Dan Ige to win, 29-28. Let's go, my guy, for the dub. Let's go. Now, this is actually surprising to see Kevin Holland this far up on a main and a pay-per-view. Usually, Kevin Holland's the main card. Usually, he's the first fight on the main card, second fight on the main card. This guy's... The UFC has a lot of respect for him. Rightfully so, rightfully so. He's one of the most active fighters in the UFC, if not the most active fighter, I think, of right now. Minus 400 for Kevin Holland. Daniel Rodriguez plus 285. The UFC thinks this will be a fun fight, considering that they placed this very high up on the card. Kevin Holland at welterweight is so much better. Kevin is a powerhouse, has gotten KOs off of his back, like Jacare Souza, and tends to just generate an insane amount of power. Holland is 32 years old. 28-13 overall. The majority of his wins come by knockout. He has 13 wins by KO. Holland has a great one, too. He looked amazing against Gunnar Nelson, and recently he looked amazing against Vicente Luque. He submitted the guy many expect would submit him. Holland has put together a couple of great performances in the UFC. Matched up against Daniel Rodriguez. Who remembers when Holland was on a 5-fight win streak, like 5 fights in 1 year? This guy saved the COVID times. Matched up against Daniel Rodriguez. Rodriguez is tough, but has lost to Magny, Ian Machado Gary, and Kelvin Gastelum. Rodriguez had a fight with Ponzi, which was very good performance from Rodriguez. Showed that he can stay composed, and he showed that he has that power still in him. Rodriguez has great combos. He's a boxer, and he just looks to let things fly. Rodriguez doesn't have the wrestling in his back pocket if he gets rocked. As long as Holland can stay focused, not talk too much, I think Holland should be able to cruise to a victory. Daniel Rodriguez is going to bring it, but I like Holland ITD. Give me Holland by KO or submission. I think he should be able to win this fight. Let's go, my guy, Holland, for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. That's going to be a man, can you imagine Holland on the mic? We just saw Holland fight. It feels like I watch Holland fight once a month. Shout out to Holland, bro. Because those are the guys that I like to watch. Shout out to Holland. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Let's hope Paulo Costa actually stays here. This guy's pulled out so many times, man. This guy's pulled out so many times. He pulled out against Hamza. He pulled out against Ikram Aliskerov. He pulled out against Jared Cannonier. He pulled out against Robert Whittaker. This guy is the pull-out merchant, man. He has 1 win out of his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need Paulo Costa to show up because this guy's been pulling out like crazy. Plus 215 for Paulo Costa. Roman Kopylov minus 290. Costa is 14-4 at 35 years old. Costa is 14-4 at 34 years old. Has had a lot. He's had, in my opinion, he had a lot more stock. His stock has dropped tremendously. When Costa was undefeated, this guy had aura. He had a very good stock. His stock has dropped tremendously ever since he's been losing consistently. And he's been struggling to get a win streak going ever since he's lost to Israel Adesanya. His most recent win is a win over Luke Rockhold in 2022. Paulo Secret Juice Costa. One of my favorite performances from Costa was against Jimi Hendrix and Yoel Romero. Of course, this fight was supposed to happen at UFC 317. Costa has good body shots and forward pressure, but he can tend to be a bit of a punching bag. He lands over 6 significant strikes per minute, but he does have a negative striking differential. Matched up against Roman Kopylov. Kopylov's only losses are to Carl Robertson, Albert Duraev, and most recently, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, who we know Fluffy is fighting Roman Dolidze in a very good fight. May the best man win in that one. Both Carl Robertson and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez subbed him both with a rear naked choke. Roman Kopylov is very susceptible to the rear naked choke. If this somehow ends up in a position where Paulo Costa is on his back, is on Kopylov's back, Kopylov, I expect you to train that submission defense, fight the hands, and learn how to defend a rear naked choke. I will say Fluffy has a tight squeeze, though. I think this Kopylov's fight's a style on Costa. The pick is going to be Roman Kopylov. Let's go, my guy, Kopylov, for the dub. I like him by KO on points. I'll go Kopylov by 29-28, unanimous decision. But we'll see. We'll see. We know Costa's gotten TKO'd once by Israel Adesanya. But if Kopylov can actually get the TKO over Costa, man, that's going to be a great way to head into the main event. Now it's the main event. Boys and girls main event, comment 28-minute gang. Max Holloway minus 128, Dustin Poirier plus 100. This is the trilogy. The odds are insane. Main event. The trilogy. Dustin won the first 2 times. Everybody's going to say this. We know that already. But this will be a war. This will be different. No matter what, this will be different from the first 2 fights. No matter who wins. I think this is a main event that all must watch. All your friends must watch. Grab your friends. Grab your popcorn, guys. I really do think that this should be a fight that nobody should miss. This is for the BMF, baby. Max Holloway lands 7 significant strikes per minute. Loves to work combos upstairs, downstairs, overwhelm his opponents like a snowball effect each and every round. He just gains more and more power and he becomes more stronger, as seen against Calvin Kattar. Beautiful performance. Max looked good against Poirier, in my honest opinion. I think Max did go kick heavy and end up getting figured out, but he had a decent game plan. Max Holloway did go very kick heavy against Ilia Topuria, and Ilia Topuria eventually caught up to his heavy kick game plan. But I thought that was a pretty decent performance from Max Holloway, although he lost. Max is a former champion. Dustin is a former interim champion. This is a very tricky fight. Max, being the younger, fresher fighter, should be the faster fighter, having volume and output on his side. But Max is coming off of his first ever TKO loss to Ilia to Poirier. Matched up against Dustin, the Diamond Poirier. Shine bright like a diamond. Hey, you guys know every time it's Dustin Poirier's fight week, the TikTok edits, all that. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Hey, at 36 years old, Dustin Poirier is fighting for his last time. This will be his last dance. It takes two to tango. I'm actually it's bittersweet, very bittersweet. Dustin has 30 wins, 9 losses. He will have 40 professional fights once this main event is over. Dustin has never lost 2 in a row. Dustin has an entire card made around him in Louisiana in order for him to retire in the sunset. Dustin is 2-3 out of his last 5, only beating Mike Chandler and Benoit Saint Denis. He finished both of these guys. I can see Dustin having a lot of success in the pocket boxing against Max. Max circling the cage. Max on the back foot. Dustin moving forward, using his switch stance to land his overhands. Dustin might drop Max, but I think Max's recovery is something not to be taken lightly. Max's recovery is his best attribute, if not his best attribute in his entire arsenal. Max is very well rounded. Max needs to use all 8 of his limbs against Dustin. Dustin is cheeky, and he can tend to land in the chaos. Dustin smells blood, and it could all be over. This guy's like a shark. When he smells blood, Dustin just starts wailing. Max is going to be the pick. Max by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. The best is blessed, baby. Over 4.5 gang. I do think that this fight goes the distance. Tune into 6 best bets and lock of the week. I got 6 best bets, a lock of the week, 2 bonuses, and of course a parlay section, which many of you guys have been enjoying. And I'll be on time, don't worry, guys. I would love to see Dustin win, though, and retire off into the sunset. Max is taking a lot. He's talking a lot. And Max has been getting cocky. I hope he doesn't eat his words, because we saw Max saying Ilia Topuria has one of the, lackluster 3-fight win streaks. He said Charlie O had only 1 win. His win against Volk, because Islam knocked him out before. Nothing to be taken away from Ilia Topuria. We got to give this credit where it's credit due. Max Holloway, focus on what you have in front of you. Dustin's going to be a tough fight, and Dustin has power. Give me Max Holloway to win by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Max Holloway. The best is blessed, baby. Let me know who you guys got. Let me know who's your lock. Let me know what's your parlays. I'll see you guys in the next one. The best is blessed, baby. God bless. Peace. Hey, peace.